Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Winnie.
So today we are talking about love. That's right. Make the love heart sign or this one.
Oh, or there's a new one.
That,
Have you heard of this?
I don't know this one.
It's all the rage in Korea right now.
All
This is gone.
This is gone. Okay, I'm just catching on to this one. So we're talking about love, and there are a lot of different kinds of love.
Exactly. We usually think of love between, two lovers, right? But I'll give an example. For example, I have a friend who I can also love.
Right. So as you said, we usually think of, when you hear the word love, you first think of romantic love, which is the red heart love.
Right.
But as you said, we also have friendships, and you, of course, love your friends.
Yeah, you care about them. It's a different type of love, but you still really care about them. Or, for example, family love, like for your mother or your father or your siblings.
So we can also use this word love to talk about the things we love, like I love pizza.
I agree. I also love pizza. Yeah, you can love things, or you can love your job. I love my job here at ABC.
And I love playing football.
Yes, you do.
So there are a lot of ways to love, and we're going to find out more about how people express their love when we get into our story, A Service of Love.
Joe Larrabee and Delia Carruthers met at an art and music center in New York City. He was studying to be a painter. She was studying to be a musician. They fell in love and were soon married. The couple moved into a small apartment together. They were happy. They had their art, and they had each other.
Hello, everyone. Today we are looking at part 1 of our story, A Service of Love.
Right, and as we talked about just now, we mentioned a lot of different types of love. Friend love, romantic love, and family love. So going on with the article, Joe Larrabee and Delia Carruthers met at an art and music center in New York City. He was studying to be a painter. She was studying to be a musician. Okay, so New York City, right? The Big Apple, Statue of Liberty, right? Chrysler Building. So they both have this dream of being artists.
That's right, and they're in New York, where a lot of artists, become famous. A lot of artists live in New York City, and they even met at an art and music center, which is appropriate because he's a painter and she's a musician.
Right, so we know that New York City is very famous for example, the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, right? So it's a really great place to explore with your what type of art you want to do, right? So there's a lot of different types of art that we can do. There's pottery, painting, making sculptures. It depends on what you use, but all of it can be considered art because you're creating it out of your imagination and your creativity.
Right.
But so, for example, what is a painter?
Okay, so a painter is simply a person who paints. When we add, the ER ending to a verb, it usually means someone who does that thing, such as a teacher teaches, a painter paints. Now, as we've said, he's studying to be a painter, so that would imply that he is an artist. So he paints art when he paints on a canvas. A painter, however, can also be someone whose job it is to paint things, such as someone who paints a house or paints, cars even, could be a painter.
Right, because there's so many different types of paint, right? For example, you could use watercolor or acrylic, or like you said, someone who just paints houses, right? So yeah, we know there are lots of different types of painters. And now, so then we have the word musician. right? So kind of similar to painter, right? It's also a type of artist, an artist who's not using paint necessarily, but maybe making music. Okay, so a musician is a performer who plays an instrument, okay? So what is an instrument? For example, you can play the piano, or the violin, or the saxophone. An instrument is just the tool that a musician uses to create the sounds. So yes, they are both artists in using their own sort of tools for the type of art that they love.
Right. So continuing with the story, they fell in love and were soon married. Now we use this expression often to fall in love. It means to become in love. You don't just get in love. You don't just have love. You fall in love.
Yes, because, and as we can kind of tell, the fall in love part, it usually means that it's kind of quick. It kind of happens quite all at once, where you just fall into love, right? And so they were soon married. So what does it mean to be married? Okay, so to marry means to be united by marriage. Okay, it means to have a wife or have a husband or a significant other that is united through law or religion. Okay, so to be married means you are with that person and you take a vow and make a promise and you say, I love you, you love me, let's get married. Yeah, so that's a kind of partnership.
Okay, so now these two are married, so let's see what happens next. The couple moved into a small apartment together. They were happy. They had their art and they had each other.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right?
I guess so. I mean, as long as they can keep living this way in the apartment just by having their art and each other, you might need other things such as food and
money.
And money, yes.
And then once you know, husband and wife, maybe there's a baby in the picture. I don't know.
Maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and find out when we come back after the break.
Then their money started to run out. They lacked the money for their studies, so Delia said that she had to give piano lessons to bring in some income.
Welcome back. So before the break, we met our two main characters, Joe Larrabee and Delia Carruthers. The two of them met in an art center in New York City. And Joe Larrabee was studying to be a painter, and Delia wanted to be a musician. So after they met, they soon fell in love, and they got married. And after that, they moved into a small apartment together, and they were happy because they had each other and their art.
Right, yes. It's from what it looks like a fairy tale happy ending, right? A man loves a woman, the woman loves the man, they get married. What could go wrong?
Could go wrong.
Yeah. So let's continue on with the article. Then their money started to run out. They lacked the money for their studies. Wait, hold on. So their money just like got up and ran away?
Does sound like that, doesn't it? It sounds like their money, jumped out of their pockets, put on their running shoes, and then just ran out. But no, that's not what this means. To run out of something is to use it up or to not have it anymore.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you run out of gas in your car, it means you have used up the gas and you need to put more in.
There's no more, right? And as we all kind of know, New York City can be expensive, especially as a struggling artist, right? It's not really common for your job to be an artist, right? So that's why a lot of artists have other jobs like being a waiter or a waitress, etc., right? So for them to run out of money, that's very scary.
So as we just read, they started to lack money for their studies. So to lack something is to be without or to not have enough of something. So if they lack money for their studies, that means they don't have enough money to pay for their studies.
Right, so that can be very scary because that means they don't get to do and learn about what they love, which is, for Joe, painting, different styles of painting, and for Delia, how to kind of perfect her music craft. And as a musician, that's something that's very important.
So let's see what happens next. So Delia said that she had to give piano lessons to bring in some income.
Oof, interesting. So she needs the money to learn how to play the piano some more, but to do that, she has to teach the piano with the knowledge that she already has. So it's a good balance, but it can be very stressful, right? And speaking of stressful, our word that we should focus on is income, okay? That's a big cause of stress for a lot of people. So an income is a noun, okay? And it means, to receive money or salary through working, okay? So when you're working a job, obviously you would get paid for that job. So that becomes your income, how you make money, right? And so for Delia, her income will be through teaching, her piano skills to other people so that she can continue being able to afford the tuition for her lessons. Yeah.
Well, it seems like that could be a good balance for them, that if she can make enough income doing this, that they can both continue their studies and continue their lifestyle, then maybe everything will be fine.
Hopefully. I think it's a good chance for her to practice as well. Yeah.
Well, we're going to see what happens to Joe and Delia next time when we come back for part 2, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Joe Larrabee and Delia Carruthers met at an art and music center in New York City. He was studying to be a painter. She was studying to be a musician. They fell in love and were soon married. The couple moved into a small apartment together. They were happy. They had their art and they had each other. Then their money started to run out. They lacked the money for their studies, so Delia said that she had to give piano lessons to bring in some income.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 painter 名词，画家。Painting 是名词，指的是画作。My uncle is a famous painter. 我的叔叔是一个有名的画家。下一个单字 musician 名词，音乐家。My neighbor is a musician from Korea. 我的邻居是一位来自韩国的音乐家。下一个单字 lack 动词，缺少，缺乏。The boy lacks confidence. 这个男孩缺乏自信。Confidence 指的是自信。最后一个单字 income 名词，收入，所得。My income mainly comes from teaching. 我的收入主要来源于教学。Mainly 指的是主要的。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 somebody is studying to be 加名词，某人正在学习当什么。Study 指的是学习、攻读。To be 后面这个名词呢，多为职业。我们来看看这个例句。Eric is studying to be a film director. Eric 正在学习当电影导演。下一个文法 something runs out 某物用完耗尽了。Run 的动词三态式 run, ran, run。我们来看看这个例句。The coffee runs out quickly in our office. 我们办公室的咖啡很快就被喝完了。最后一个文法 give a lesson 教课。 Lesson 的意思是课程，前面可以加上科目，例如 a dance lesson 舞蹈课 ，a history lesson 历史课等等。我们来看看这个例句。Monica gave us a guitar lesson for free. Monica 免费为我们上了一堂吉他课。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Here's how to play. The host will be holding 3 cards. Each card will have 2 sentences containing a secret vocabulary word or phrase that has been replaced by the word bear. The host will read the sentences out loud for the contestants to guess. Whoever guesses first gets a point. The person with the most points wins. And you can play along too.
Hey, I'm Josh.
And I'm Toy.
And I'm Carolyn.
We're about to get into another round of Guess the Bear. You guys fired up?
Yeah.
We got lots of bears to guess today. And the first cab off the ranks is a verb, 1 word. He shut the window to bear the bugs out. Your eyes will turn red if you bear rubbing them.
Keep.
Ooh, yeah. Keep. You got it. You were quick on that one. He shut the window to keep the bugs out. Your eyes will turn red if you keep rubbing them. And I guess just stop rubbing them, I guess. All right. Noun, 1 word. We knew he was a police officer from his bear. Students like to wear their own clothes instead of bears.
Jacket?
Ooh, it's not jacket, but it is uniform. Oh, that's 2 out of 3 right now. Now 1 word. We knew he was a police officer from his uniform. Students like to wear their own clothes instead of uniform.
Okay.
Yeah. Phrase. 2 words. A little bit tricky, this one. The toolbox bears bear. 2 hammers. The sandwich bared bear. A drink on the side.
Consist of?
No.
Comes with?
Yes. Yes, come with, came with. That's 3 for 3, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah, the toolbox came with 2 hammers, or the toolbox comes with 2 hammers. The sandwich comes with a drink on the side, or the sandwich came with a drink on the side. Yeah. That's a good deal on that toolbox, I reckon.
Yeah.
2 hammers. I mean, normally you only get...
IKEA?
I don't even know, but normally you get 1. You've got to find out where that deal is.